Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream, welcome to Thunder Media TV, and of course it is going to be Epsilon versus SuperJymy in the eSport Bet Consolidation final. And right now we already have the pistol heavily on the way. We did see Zora getting taken out pretty quickly. Now Epsilon will be starting off on their CT side, of course, since they do pick the side they wish to start, as this is the map pick of SuperJymy. But welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're just tuning in, this is the Consolidation final, of course, final. This will decide who will be third on this tournament, on this tourney, the eSport Bet, of course, promo cup. And right now, as you can see, it will be all three players converging onto a side, but it's going to be Zach with 2-3, and suddenly the round is starting to close out for Epsilon. It'll be the pistol finish, and my god, by god, what a quick ending here for this pistol. Epsilon will take it rather easily. Zach, single-handedly, the Greek player, defeats the lineup of course, none other than SuperJymy, and will be taking the first round for the mixed European team. Anyway, welcome to the stream. If you have just tuned in, it is, of course, a best-of-3 series, and right now we do have our first map being played as it stands. Now, before we do move on, I would like to say this is the third place decider. This will decide who will go into the grand finals and who will go into third place. And right now, well, as it stands, it is not looking too well for... it is not looking too well for SuperJymy, starting off with a rather bad bang. Zach opens up on Zora once more. Luckily, it's going to be Ariel now, refragging back on both Smua and Zach itself. And Pit, it is none other than Robin. He's going to be left alone to defend side. Well, and unfortunately, that will mean he's going to lose his life rather easily. The bomb is still down on the bottom. Bona is bringing it through, and both players of the CT side are staying in Banana itself. They'll be moving on towards A, and it seems like they'll be, of course, going on towards the retake. They do have the M4 and the MP9, but in the end, they might opt out against it. They do know that, of course, they're going to be lacking the defuse kit. And it seems like they will not actually try it. Initially, it might have appeared that they might want to go up top mid, might want to do some damage. But alas, it's not meant to be. Anyway, as you can see, SuperJymy do manage to bring themselves on the board with one. They get the plant, they get 4 players to stay alive. And I presume Auna is going to stay in pit. Probably going to try and... save the M4, obviously. That is going to be his main concern here. Ariel and Arvid did manage to keep FAMAS and the MP9. Cosmin, he will pick up Bona, but it's of no consequence right now. SuperJymy secure themselves the victory. And that'll be the 1-to-1 try. Now, of course, before we do keep on going with this match, I would like to mention that this is a best-of-3. It is, of course, map number 1, Inferno, picked by SuperJymy. And as we can see right now, it is going to be another force buy coming out from the CTs, or at least these force buy coming out of the CTs. Obviously, they saved 2 rifles. Why not? And a UMP, 2 MP9s, and an M4 to support it all. So let's see how well SuperJymy can react to this. As we can see, Auna has kept only his Deagle. An interesting decision given the fact that they know they're playing against a force buy. Perhaps, you know, he feels even better when he has the Deagle in his hand. Banana control established. Inferno, it is vital here that the T's have banana control. Shully, good to see you, babe. And Shred, well... I would dare say that Epsilon certainly have the better chance of winning, since they are the favored team. But SuperJymy can definitely surprise. The full lineup of Finns has been successful before, and they can certainly be successful again. Well, it's going to be Robin taking one down. Unfortunately, immediately refrag. Bona and Arvid open up both A side and A, and B. And Smua just managed to catch one. But, as the last guy alive, Cosmin, well, he has a tall order ahead of him, and he's going to try and defuse the plant, at least gather the plant. And Zora will stop the plant while trying to help out his teammate, obviously. It seems like that is going to be the end of that third round, and Epsilon forced to play with pistols now. Obviously, they lost the force. They can't really afford to do much more than just go wiggling about with those pesky little pea shooters. Although we could consider that the P250 and the CZ are not exactly pea shooters, but definitely nothing to be feared about if you play it correctly. We can see that Aone also picks up the Mach 10. He's not going to buy himself the AK, plays it smart. Keeps his economy relatively high with that Mach 10. He has the opportunity to even to stack it even higher, and it will be a beast, a B play. Obviously a full-on execute smoke starting to land behind the fountain. There's a player hiding. That's Cosmin. Of course, Aone not missing a beat. An easy shot. Arvid catches Robin. Bona finds Smuya. That was boosted. And well, Surreal and Sack, they pretty much have no chance of taking this round back. And Aone finishes the job. 2 kills for him. Certainly a load of money, a boatload if you could. And he's gonna keep the Mach 10 as it seems. That's an interesting decision. They know they're playing against a full buy, so keeping the Mach 10 is certainly something that you're not used to. Or at least you wouldn't be used to otherwise. And the reason why there's no sound will be returning in a moment. Here we go, sound is back. And yeah, so the reason why you keep the Mach 10 is because obviously, you know, you're probably gonna lose a duel against an M4 or it's definitely an AWP, but it's certainly not impossible to win it. That is the point. And if you win a duel with the Mach 10, that is something that you already automatically get such a good upper hand over your opponent. Ooh, Bona takes the bullet from the op. Luckily, she still stays alive. Zack fully blinded in pit, though, gonna be denied, and immediately Aone picks up the op, and that's actually the biggest trade you could go for with the Mach 10, obviously. And Alan Vera, no, you cannot have the GoTV, my friend, unfortunately. Pasha Biceps, nice to see you. And Shred, the second map, will be, of course, none other than Cobblestone, picked by Epsilon. So that will mean SuperJymy start on their CT side there. And it will be an obvious save coming out from Epsilon. Surreal with 2. A lot of damage dealt to the line of the T's, which is certainly important. We got to keep in mind that, of course, if you manage to keep the low economy for your T opponent, you can always reset them. But alas, it has not yet happened. It will not happen in the next. Presumably, they will force buy again, but I mean, there's enough money right now on the side of SuperJymy that they have pretty much all they need. Even if they lose, they'll have enough to fully buy up. So we can touch a little bit about how Inferno has to be played for the T's, because they must absolutely take banana control if they wish to do any sort of fakes, if they wish to do any sort of map control. They must have banana. They must also own apartments. Now, apartments are a vital part of this strategy, but it's not vital that you need them deep. So basically, you don't need the deep control, meaning you don't need to have players posted on balcony close to. You don't need to have balcony, or excuse me, long hauls control. You must just keep the CTs under pressure, under the impression that, of course, there's constantly a player posted there, or at least that control has been established and somebody will prevent them trying to push through. Now, as we can see, the utility is high on the side of Epsilon, so that's enough money to stop any sort of early aggression. We do see also Aone taking quite a little bit of damage already from the get-go, so this is certainly going to be a bit of an impact towards his performance in duels. But it's not gonna stop SuperJymy from keeping on going through this round. Seems like they wish to go towards A. I would like to point out that this might be their doom, since there are 3 players posted there. We have to say that Smuya is on long, but the utility is still quite nicely stacked for Zack and both, of course, Robin. And Zack gets a pop flash in. Smuya and Zack pick up 2, and that is certainly the opening they required. In pit is a player hiding. He's gonna lose his life. Ariel finds Robin. Suddenly, it is all eyes on Smuya. On Smuya and Cosmin, but they've been locked out with the smokes. They've been denied their entries. It's a 3 versus 3 retake. Pop flash into smoke. Surreal goes in, boosts actually Smuya to try and spot through the smoke. He has no vision. And that will be the plant coming through. Cosmin still catches Bona. Smuya tries to push in through. We'll find the ending of a bullet. And well, Arvid will find Surreal. And it's all eyes on Cosmin. And to be honest, well, time is starting to tick away. Cosmin, Yeah, he doesn't spot Arvid. And that'll be the end of him. Arvid in a perfect position. Even though SuperJymy lost 4 players, the money is still there. The money is still good enough. Epsilon, of course, will go for the pistol buy. They could have afforded a force buy, but they would probably be lacking a lot of utility. I mean, yes, they would be lacking a lot of utility, and yes, they would be probably losing it either way, because if you know you're losing against gun rounds and you have utility, well, then you probably know that you're going to lose against gun rounds with guns without utility. I mean, it's not necessary, but usually that's the way it goes. And you already see a quick exchange on Banana. 3 players from from Epsilon will be controlling B itself, but SuperJymy has attained control of Banana. That means they can now go to any sort of fake place. And Smuya, he's playing super aggressively. Might he peek the corner? Aune is waiting on the other end, and let's see if the obvious crosshair placement is proper. Yes, it is. Aune will certainly have the better angle on Smuya, but the smart thing for Smuya right now is that he's not peeking at all. He's not going for it. He's just waiting on... Oh, the angle peeks. Gets spotted, immediately pulls back. If he had gone for the wide peek, that would have been the death of him. Pop flash to the smoke. It will be, of course, both Bona and Smuya fully flashed. Bona not prepared for it. 42 seconds remaining. Seems like SuperJymy is going to wait out a little bit longer. But Epsilon, they're slowly rotating off of A. They're going to go everybody. They're going to pull everybody on towards B. And this could be an issue. Well, certainly it will be, because SuperJymy, they're slow walking to A. It's a trade of sights, left and right. And this is going to be 6-1. SuperJymy with a great start on Inferno. Their T side certainly starting to show that they prepared for it. And Epsilon, they will have to step up here if they do not wish to lose this first half with more than 6-7 rounds. They'll definitely need to make a change. Well, Zach still finds the headshot on Bona. That dangerous CZ on long range. Or I should say, even on long range, being as deadly as it is on close range. Well, Cosmin will find one more. That is Zore, but immediately refragged by Ariel. Down to Smuya and Zach it goes, and I believe it is fair to say at this point that it will be the end of Epsilon's journey. Or at least hope to try and pick any more kills, because everybody is saving in pit. And SuperJymy playing it smartly enough to not give away any weapons at all. Here goes the full buy. Epsilon affording themselves the AWP. No double up setup. Inferno is quite notorious to have double up on the CT. It is very useful having a player with the op on top mid and Banana. Being able to, you know, wreak havoc. And a full utility, as I've mentioned, is required by Epsilon. That is exactly what they have. Flash into Banana itself. And deep molly and smoke. Control established. This gives enough information to Epsilon to rotate off with 2 players into towards 8, but Ariel already taking Sack down. This is not really looking too well for suddenly for Epsilon. They will lose one more. That's Smuya. Robin does get one. Smuya did catch Ariel before he fell, but it is still going to be the man advantage kept by the T's. And it seems like that will be it. Surreal and Cosmin, if they wish to go for the retake, they will have to go in the next 10 to 15 seconds as soon as the smoke passes, but it seems like that is not going to be the case, and they will be pulling back. And one thing before they pull back completely, and before we go into the next, we'll lower the game sound quite a little bit, since it's wreaking havoc in my ears. That'll be it. That will be 7-1 SuperJymy taking the lead on their T side. Certainly a great performance. They have put an end to Epsilon's full buy. It will be a force right now. They will be able to drop 2 rifles, obviously saving 2. Utility has been bought up as well, but this is going to be the last stand of Epsilon. If they lose this, certainly SuperJymy will be up to 10 rounds almost. And that is something Epsilon cannot allow themselves to get by. without saying negative. I mean, as it stands, SuperJymy taking banana control again, but 4 players are approaching it. So it seems like it will be a B take once more. And I'm loving that SuperJymy is not committing to a rush. They realize the dangers of it. They know that there's no need to rush at all. They have 1 minute and 55 seconds. So unless they get an early entry, they do not push to site at all. They're a very reactive team. And it will be a trade left and right. Surreal picks up Bona. Does get team damage, although Cosmin still with the double. And it will be Zora bringing it back to a 2 versus 3. The man advantage kept by Epsilon is still useful, in Zora pop flashing through the smoke. Smooya waiting on the other end, and he will meet Zora through the halfway. And that will be Smooya with 2. And Epsilon, just as I was saying, that, well, they will have to put a stop to the aggression of SuperJymy. They do exactly that. And here we go. It is 2-7. It is SuperJymy still leading by 5. And, well, their T side has already been successful. Let's see if they can keep it up. They must find themselves on more rounds. Epsilon, of course, if they wish to say that their CT was okay. Now, App's apartment, or App's itself, being taken by Ariel. He does have the AK to play with. Oh, the timing for Smooya couldn't be worse. Robin does refrag, but the op has been lost, or at least the primary op has been lost. And SuperJymy with the man, well, initially with the man advantage, you get taken aback, but on banana, Cosmin close range, they know he's there. The smoke reveals him, or at least the smoke tells the story. And the man advantage now kept by SuperJymy. And this is surely something that Epsilon did not predict to be happening, and they must not lose. They must not lose this round. They will be picking up Zoret. Sakis from Banana, of course. 3 versus 3 still kept. Oh, with double in secret or in dark. I love this. This is a great positioning. Without a molly, Epsilon will be forced to check it. And once they check it, once the first player peeks out, nobody else will re-peek it unless they expect it. And here we go. Bona peeks his timing. It is absolutely superb. He could have waited a little while longer. He certainly had the time for it. But he picks up the 2. And that will be SuperJymy with 8 on the board. And pretty much destroying Epsilon's economy. Forcing them to play with pistol again. And that will be a very colorful ending to Epsilon's buy rounds. I mean, this is a crucial moment in their game. And they throw it, well, not throw it away, but they lose it like that. It just has to hurt. As we can see, it is a pretty standard setup from SuperJymy. They're not going close to apartments. They know that their opponents do have pistols. They wish to keep their, well, Kevlars, their rifles at hand. Now, I'm loving that they're mirroring each other. They're not going into apartments without the other one going through window or boiler. And they have no boiler control, so they do not wish to, risk it. Smooya gets caught by Ariel. Will be one more for Ariel. Make it Aune with 1 as well. And suddenly, this is going to be the round once more for SuperJymy. Obviously not suddenly, more so predictably. And to touch a little bit about how the T's should be playing, or at least what they should be doing if somebody's not aware. The T's primary concern is, at least on the early game, if they do not get picked, if there's no early aggression, if it's a gun round. In gun rounds, they want to control banana. That's one thing. And of course, apartments. So that's an important thing to note, that every time they have no apartment control or banana control, they will be losing map control. They'll be losing room to work with. And on, of course, pistols, or against ecos, or against force buys, if they, if the IGL calls it correctly, well, make it Arvid to fall. But to finish, if the IGL calls it correctly and they know it's a force buy, they know it's a full eco, they want to play passively. They want to put 2 players towards bridge and second mid, watching the apps, back alley. They want to put, well, Zara will catch Cosmin, no save for him. And Surreal is close range, but Zara denying him any sort of kill. So, They want to put 2 players into second mid, maybe even 3 if they're feeling lucky, and 2 players towards ramp. Usually it's the way that a player from ramp watches mid, a player from, well, the right side of ramp watches the entry into banana, and they have crossfire set up, they play it patiently, and right now SuperJymy are doing exactly that. They're reacting to the game perfectly, they have their patience in, they do not rush, they do not, you know, go in too fast, they do not try to force a win when there's no need to, and with 9 rounds on the board, the T side is basically already won. All they need to do right now is try to win this round, and if they do so, the CTs will be thrown to another eco, and that will pretty much put them into an 11-4 result. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, in this consolidation final, SuperJymy is absolutely breaking Epsilon's game. They're destroying their CT defense, and I'm loving the fact that Epsilon is still trying to play the mirror on mid. They have 2 players set on long and, well, 1 player on long, 1 on short, trying to mirror off of each other. And although now Zach stays alone under roof, this could be a dangerous position, especially if he gets pop flash. There's nobody to refrag him back, but he's slowly and surely pulling away. Although Robin is coming in to support, they probably want to take mid in control. And they realize, obviously, that these could be in T house, and they do not, or excuse me, in apartments themselves, so they do not wish to risk it. And they're rotating Smooya left and right. Not exactly sure where he wants that to end up at. But there has been a play made, sound as well, 32 seconds remaining. SuperJymy has made a bit of a fake on towards mid. They will pull back, they will go towards B now. Seems like it will be a B strike. And look at this. Cosmin alone, 1 versus 5, but Surreal actually not alone. From 0 to triple. We'll pick up the round now. SuperJymy denied, and Surreal almost unspotted his... I do not know why his character is almost transparent on the minimap. Zore picks 1 more, but time has ran out, and it will be the frag or the round for Epsilon. That was all on Surreal with the triple. Without it, it would have been extremely hard to do anything. And the reason why I said alone, because on minimap I didn't see Surreal being there. So I was like, wait, is he alone? Is he not? Surreal's okay, now it's normal. His color, actually no, it's not normal. His color is still very dark. So it's sometimes hard to spot. But yeah, it will be a full buy on both sides. And without that triple, there is no victory. Epsilon can be thankful that Surreal has managed to pull off an amazing feat. Not easily done, especially not when you're facing the full wrath of SuperJymy. A quick trade we see there. Cosmin has been lost, at least a refrag for Surreal again. There are 2 players in apartments towards balcony. Arvid is chasing, and ooh, he almost caught a glimpse of Tax. Tax sees the AK, gonna pull back. Smartly enough, so does Arvid. Does not wish to lose his life. I guess this is the smartest way you could play this one out. 52 seconds remaining. 4 people on each side alive. Oh, Smooya denied and unlocked, basically. Surreal peeks long, though. Finds 1. Is unable to finish off Zori. Keeps the advantage in the favor of SuperJymy. Or gives the advantage to SuperJymy. And B side is wide open, 30 seconds. Nobody to defend against. This seems like Epsilon will be hard reset again. This is a crucial moment. And remember when I said, you know, Epsilon need to win at least a few rounds. Well, they should have won this one, and Arvid will find himself sack. It's all eyes on Robin. He has the defuse. He has a molly if he needs to stop something, but he finds Zori. He sees him lurk through CT. He presumes that nobody is in ruins, and this could get extremely juicy. Oh, he sees Bonai, at least hears him. He will not be able to finish him off. Oh man, the timing. He does find him now. Molly into CT, but through banana. It is none other than Arvid. That's it. That's the end. Not picking the right angle, presuming that there is a player in CT. Epsilon will be reset, and SuperJymy, they'll be going up to 11. Copy. This is the first map. This is Inferno, picked by SuperJymy. They're playing on their home turf. And this is the first half, obviously, as you can see. But there will be map number 2 coming up next. It is, of course, going to be Cobblestone. third map is Mirage as the decider. Well, we will have another B take. Single-handedly gonna have to be stopped by none other than Surreal. And well, not really able to do much. Maybe even be caught off in the end, and Aune, that is it. Official Karmazor, good to see you, buddy. Yes, we did, but not today. Practice got cancelled, otherwise I wouldn't be able to cast today for you guys. Can somebody please update me on the NAP versus Liquid game? Please. Because I would have very much loved to see that match. But yes, it is gonna be the round for SuperJymy, and as I've said, this is a horrible position that Epsilon find themselves in. I know the maps are tied, just the final result. Thank you, Karmazor. Well, Arvid and Zore. Oh, did I practice pronouncing SuperJymy perfectly? I'm sorry, I didn't. I will have to disappoint you, my friend. I did not succeed in that. Well, 11-3, SuperJymy. SuperJymy. I'm having issues pronouncing it again. I'm not even gonna try. SuperJymy is the safest way to say it. It will be pretty much a complete victory right now on their T half. And if they win this one as well, it is all gonna come down to the pistol. Epsilon absolutely must not allow the pistol to be lost either way. Let's go, NIP. I'm actually rooting for both teams, Liquid and NIP. But right now it's an execute towards B. It will be 3 players, 4 players coming out of that one. Bona catches Surreal. Suddenly it's Cosmin. He has to find at least one. He will catch off the entry player, but... oh, from behind, Arvid. He was almost stopped by Zach, but still gonna be retraded. Smuya was not good enough, and that's down to a 3 versus 2. It will be Epsilon. And man disadvantage trying to retake. And SuperJymy, they're gonna give themselves another round to lead on their CT side. And keep in mind, SuperJymy started on the T. It was a pick by Epsilon to start on the CT. A very bad start. And well, Robin, good night. And that is gonna be it. A beautiful one-tap. Aune takes his head off. And that is gonna be 12-3. Epsilon in a very bad spot right now. Absolutely perfectly played out. And it will be the second pistol starting up. It is 12-3. It is gonna be a crucial moment here for Epsilon. They must secure themselves the victory, or it's gonna be over for SuperJymy, or excuse me, for Epsilon itself. Right now, they're betting on this one. And absolutely a beast performance on the T side by all players, mostly by Aune and Ariel, and Zore picks up the head on Surreal. Oh, spotted Bona was, but Smuya, he has missed his timing, and now, well, he's gonna have to walk out of balcony. He has the bomb, and he's gonna go for it on Banana. Zach has been taken out, and Smuya has been spotted. That's gonna be a frag for Ariel and Bona, and that is gonna be the end. Robin will lose his life. That is 13-3. That'll be SuperJymy with the victory on Inferno, and I would have never said Epsilon will actually be losing Inferno, especially on the CT side start. 13-2, and now make it the pistol as well. 12-3, and make it the pistol as well. Now 13-3. SuperJymy with a perfect performance, and well, they've already secured themselves map number 1. Seems like we'll be going on to Cobblestone faster than expected. It's looking amazing for SuperJymy. The Finns are currently putting the final nails in the coffin of Epsilon. And, well, Epsilon, Surreal, will open up again. He's been fragging like mad on the CT side. Still not enough. Smuya with one more on Bona. Puts down the man disadvantage. Make it into a 3 versus 2. Make it a 2 versus 2 now. Ariel still picked up to manage to keep this dream alive over retake for Arvid. Oh, he's been spotted out through pit. Sack. He's fast enough and now on it. He announces his position. 2 versus 1. Can he retake this? It is a crucial moment. Fully blinded. It's going to be Smooya found out. And Sack, he has the info, but he's going to lose the duel. Sack, oh no. He peeks wide. He gets his head taken clean off. And the defuse is there. Aune gets it. 14-3. And that will be the end. That will be pretty much map number 1 finished. SuperJymy, no chance. They'll give a frag or a round now to Epsilon. With the plant, obviously Epsilon will full buy. They'll have 1 AK. Not even Kevlar fully bought up. And let's see how far they can go. This is going to be now their last chance. If they lose this, they'll have no money on the next. And they have fully bought up. We see there's a bit of a delay in their buy. Cosmin only with the Deagle, interestingly enough. But he had only the money for it, obviously buying the AK. Arvid, he's going to go close banana. He finds the entry, Smooya out. And they announce they have a full buy. The AK certainly make that not possible. Second smoke comes through. And that is looking like it's going to be the lockdown for SuperJymy. 15-3. In a fashion that you wouldn't expect. Epsilon, certainly the favorite team here. But they get absolutely demolished. They have nothing to show up for on their CT side. And looking like they'll have nothing on the T side. And Zora pushes through B house deep. Through T side with the Mech 7. Finds the bomb carrier. And it's going to be down to the 3 players remaining. Robin, Sack, and Surreal. Banana being pushed. Sack tries to smoke it in. Tries to retrieve the bomb. Zora spots him, but Zora still catches the drift. That is Bona as the last guy. Or excuse me, Robin as the last guy. That will be it. That will be 15-3. It is SuperJymy taking map 1. I can't believe they're actually taking this one that easily. Epsilon, they had an easy stroll through their bracket place, and now they're facing off SuperJymy. Certainly an opponent you cannot really underestimate them. SuperJymy with a 0-2 loss against Seal, the Polish team. Now waking up against Epsilon. Arvid pushes, peeks in. We'll find 4 Mech 10s facing him out and gets traded back as well. 3 versus 3. But of course the utility there for the CTs favors them heavily. The mollies, the diffuse kits. Let's see if the retake is possible. Robin in Church, fully blinded, will be spotted. And Zora, of course, will catch him. Smooya and Cosmin. Smooya still finds the headshot on Ariel. 2 versus 2, although he is heavily tagged. And it's going to be Cosmin peeking at the right angle. That is a 2 versus 1 retake now for Bona. He burns him alive and Bona finds Cosmin. What a final round to finish the first map. It is 16-3. It is SuperJymy taking Inferno. By God, a perfect performance by SuperJymy. I mean, 13-2, or excuse me, 12-3 is the half ending for them, and they find themselves on the victory prowl of the first map. We will be going into the second map momentarily, guys.